Hello everyone, welcome back to the Malbeefance channel. This is turn 30. Yes, you heard me correctly. This is turn 30 of my series replay for Strategic Command World War One. So back in the beginning I had mentioned that Matrix Games and Fury Software, they're two of the guys that are responsible for this game. Another one is Slytherin. They're the guys that all three of those companies, they're responsible for this game. They've got a whole series of strategic command games: World War II, American Civil War. They have released mods for those games that allow you to fight the Russian Civil War, the Bolshevik war in Russia. You can fight depending on which game you've got, you can also fight the Russo-Japanese War, the Franco-Prussian War. There's a DLC out there where you can download it for Strategic Command American Civil War, and that will allow you to fight the wars of the Americas, which were basically they were the wars of liberation. The South American countries, some of them were fighting against each other, and others were their wars of liberation. So definitely, if you like these kind of games, these kind of strategic games, go ahead and give the series a look if you haven't already. I do know that a number of you watching my series, I know a number of you already have these games. Most likely, I would guess you guys have got the World War II series. You got World War II in Europe, World War II in the Pacific, and then you've got both of them combined. So, and there is a mod for Strategic Command World War One where you can play the entire world. Okay, so that is also out there. Obviously, you're not limited to just Europe. You're actually able to play the whole war, the whole world, I mean. So, all right. So, anyways, I wanted to put that out there because I haven't mentioned it for a while. And this series is getting on the long side, which actually is not unusual. For those of you that watched other series like Atlantic Fleet, there's a few guys out there that have done Atlantic Fleet campaigns. And yeah, they've gotten up into like 45 turns and stuff like that. So, anyways, but I'm digressing. I try to keep these videos at 30 minutes. I like to do that because I don't like them too long because they do get boring. I'm not exactly the greatest narrator in the world, so I probably don't really make this all exciting. But I do enjoy the game. It is exciting for me. History buff and war game nerd that I am. I'm sure at least some of you viewing this, you're the same as me, or you wouldn't be watching this in the first place. All right, so last turn, we did a little bit over on the Eastern Front. We took Kiev. Kiev was undefended. Major mistake, in my opinion, that the computer made there. We're going to see how that plays out. I was able to get better defenses into Trento. So hopefully that'll pan out for us. The battle in the Ardennes continues as I attempt to get myself into position to go ahead and take Verdun. And I'll go ahead and I'll stop there. Let's go ahead and advance the turn for the computer and see what we get. All right, loss of Kiev reduces Russian morale. And we saw the big drop right there. Unfortunately, because it's processing, I can't get it to tell me exactly what it dropped to. So there is the blockade in the North Sea. 10 people die in the Preparedness Day bombing in San Francisco. This is a historical event. Scientists report progress for the Austrians in trench warfare. This is for level 5 trench warfare. They're only up to 31%. Austria-Hungary develops spying and intelligence level 1. Austria-Hungary develops logistics level 3. The Ottomans infantry weapons development up to 43%. For the Ottomans, logistic development up to 77%. Ottoman scientists, production technology development up to 33%. Ottoman scientific progress in industrial technology up to 49%. So a lot of advances there. They just haven't gotten over the hump yet. They haven't gotten to the finish line. All right, so here's our ledger for next turn. Computers calculating supply for the Entente side. So what do we want to get? Just thinking, looking for opportunities, planning. So some shore bombardment down in the Suez. Repositioning of Russian forces in Estonia. Some more redeployment. Looks like they're abandoning Odessa, kinda. It looks like all they left was that one garrison down there. And they pulled back along the Caucasus. So anything else? I'm sure there's going to be some fighting over on the Western Front. Computers just got to get to that point. All right, it's doing something with the fleet. All right, here comes the air war. All right, so last turn I moved this fighter unit back here so it could get some work done. And it looks like that helped. And so still more air war going around the map. And here comes the artillery fire into the Ardennes position. Okay, that's 2 French artillery that we've seen. 1 British. And I think it's like 2 Russian artillery. 3 French artillery along the Western Front. Oh, hang on. Here comes the fight for the Ardennes. I don't think I'm holding it. Oh, they're attacking Liege. That's not a good sign. Oh, man, they took... Ah! Oh, and they still managed to get the Ardennes hex. Bums! I was going to say an offensive against Liege is not a good sign for me because it pretty much indicates that the Western allies are ready to go on major offensives all up and down the front. So my war against Russia is taking too long. It was a gamble. I can still win this. I just got to hammer the final nail in Russia's coffin. Now, there is no way that the Russians are going to leave that hex empty. The one right here south of Batum. There is no way they're going to leave that empty. Yeah, I also said there was no way they were going to leave Kiev unguarded. I mean, if nothing else, there's got to be a unit in Batum. There we go. There we go. Hey, look, I'll be the first to admit that the computer is not the sharpest tool in the shed in this game, but there are certain things that it does do well. There are certain mistakes that it does not make. Socialist agitation lowering Russian determination to continue the war. You love to see it. Belgium surrenders, and the French pick up 116 production points for it. British workers strike for better conditions. And there is the Central Powers raiders disrupting convoys. Again, the close blockade. I mean, there could only be one ship on the blockade. It'll still give me that warning. But the thing that I like is the fact that it's not showing the distant blockade. So that means there's no ships out there in the Atlantic. British morale falls below 50. You love to see it. That is if you're playing the Central Powers side. All right, second corps lost. Unfortunately, I cannot reconstitute the Belgian corps because I need a muster location in Belgium in order to bring them back on the board. I mean, I can pay for them. They'll be there waiting, ready to deploy after they've reformed, but I won't actually be able to put them out on the map unless I have a muster point available within Belgium. All right, so intelligence lets us know there's a headquarters near Athens. There's a Italian corps we picked up through intelligence intercepts. All right, so no reinforcements. Let's go ahead and start with the High Seas Fleet. I don't have to spend a lot of money on them this turn. There's not a lot that needs to be spent for, so I can go ahead and I can start with them. Second wave of upgraded and resupplied submarines getting out there. Alright, anything else? He just moved in there, yep, so I can't do anything with him. Whoops. Lost control of my mouse there for a second. Alright, so that takes care, well, no, it does not. I still got more submarines to do. Alright, so do I want to link him up here? Or get him, you know what I want him to do? I am going to take a chance. And I am going to have him patrol off Scapa Flow. I don't want him that close. 1 hex away from this supply lane, and he might get noticed. Okay, so these guys need to come home. Keeping U-42 out there 1 extra turn got him enough XP to where he can get an elite reinforcement. Alright, now let's give the computer fits. 2, 3, 4, 5 submarines all at once. Let's see what they muster for an anti-submarine force to go after that. Alright, so that will take care of the High Seas Fleet and our U-boats. Now, back on the Western Front, I am seriously running out of healthy core here. I need to take Liege back. This has been my experience, if the computer Entente holds Liege for too long, they will declare war on the Netherlands and try to expand the front. I'm not ready for that yet. All right, so this is taking a chance. But I got to scout him out. 1, 2, 3. That takes out all of his entrenchment. 1 to 3, 2 to 3, 2 to 2. I was hoping not to use this guy, but luckily he didn't take any damage. All right. Still 2 to 3. All right, let's do it. All right, cleaned him out. Get in there. Hit the trenches again just to be on the safe side. I really don't want to move him in there. I'd like to get him his reinforcements. But looks like that's not going to be an option. I know I got a 1 to 5 on that British infantry unit. But I need him to be able to entrench, and I have to move these I need to move those trenches. Move it from up here to down here, just in case they take that hex again. All right, move him up. Now I can resupply him or reinforce him. Reinforce him. My 2 fighter squadrons that didn't go out this time, get them back up to strength. Get my Zeppelins back up to strength. All right. So he fired, so he's not going to have... I'm not going to be able to get him his elite reinforcements again. You know what? Let's do that. Okay, everybody else hold. No. Oh. Alright, so we will... I want to swap him out. So that way the unit that I got here has better readiness and morale. Because they'll only attack this hex from here. They're not going to risk Nancy or Verdun, so I don't have to worry about attacks coming out of these 2 hexes unless it makes the difference between taking this hex. Then the computer might attack from Nancy. Alright, so that's going to take care of the Western Front. Move down here to the Alpine Front. Alright, so I can finally get him reinforced. Reinforce those fighters. Thank you very much for getting back into the game. So I can do this. So nope, I can't get him his elite reinforcement yet. Probably next turn. Go ahead and swap out. So now, what moving a much more powerful unit into this hex, what it might do is it might get the computer to move an Italian unit into this hex. This is a difficult hex to supply for either side, and after I let a unit sit there long enough, it'll be easy pickings. Alright, so back down to the Serbian front, upgrade the Albanian Legion. So now we got 4 shots there. Do we want to take on British 19th Corps? I can't scout the hex out, but I would like to push across, cut off supplies to the Serbian capital coming in from Salonika. I can also go ahead and just start isolating instead of actually attacking. I can go ahead and I can take Bitola. I should be able... No, he's got to move out of there. He's not on a road. So it's going to take him all of his movement to get there. If I move adjacent to Bitola, they will move somebody in to defend it. I want to sneak up on it. So let's go ahead and do that. So I will do a diversionary attack on 19th Corps. see if I can get the computer to think that's the direction I'm moving in, which I kind of am. All right, 1 to 1. Oh man. Okay, that was useless. Okay. Oh well, we tried. But he can move in there. He just doesn't have enough movement points left to entrench. Probably should have swapped him out with one of these guys so they can go ahead and upgrade. That probably would have been the smarter thing to do. But now he's up to 5 shells. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. All right, could take who's sitting on what? So he's not sitting on anything. He's sitting on the town. But I got 3 units adjacent to him and only 2 to him. Now, if I take this town, I cut him off. Two, 3, 4, and 5. All right, and we got a strength point for it too. All right, 2 to 4, 2 to 5. So between the two of them, they ought to be able to wipe him out. Nope. So that was 4 to 2. And he did 4 to 2. All right, so how do we want to do this? Let's go this way. All right, that clears him out. Now, can he get in there? If I swap those two, will he have enough movement points to get in there? I don't think so. All right, so let's do this. Force march him to get into that hex. Because now he's isolated, because he's not on, yes he is. He is on a road, but we cut him off. So he does not have any road supplies coming into him. Can he move? Nope. I used up all of his movement. All right, so that takes care of the Serbian front. Let's go ahead and have a look at the Mediterranean. Anything we want to do with the Navy. So he's been resupplied. Let's get him back out there. Oh, what did we find? An Italian light cruiser. Now, at least that way there's a chance that they'll be surprised if somebody moves next to him. All right, let's get the cruisers back into port so they can get repaired. Or excuse me, pre-dreadnoughts. Those are not cruisers. All right, so we were going to use the battle cruiser to see if we can find anybody in Batum, but they moved a unit here to block, so there's no point in doing that now. So we'll bring the battle cruiser back. All right, I can only do 1 amphibious transport. All right, get the artillery closer to the front line. I need another headquarters down here. He's only good for 5 units, and I've got 7 down there now. All right, let's go ahead and keep some pressure on. Oh, he got 3 for 1. Awesome. 3 for 2. I like those numbers. All right. One less British unit in Egypt. All right. So let me have a look at something real quick here. You know what? I'm going to spend the money now. See if I can't speed that up. If the Ottomans are able to get to level 1 amphibious warfare, not only will I have 2 units that I can do amphibious assaults at the same time, but the amphibious transports will also have 1 movement point extra. So let me see if I can't speed that up a little. Only I don't want to put more than 2 chits into that. I know some of you like to overspend on R&D, and I feel you. I understand why you do it. I am not one of those guys. I like having more bullets and more guns and more guys out on the battlefield. That tends to be my priority. Alright, so yes, pulling him back did make it possible to upgrade him. Yeah, I didn't think we'd have much of an opportunity. I mean, you're talking about people that are the troops are dug in and they're in the mountains. I did not expect to see much of an opportunity there. All right, so that brings us to the main event, the Eastern Front. All right, so let's start with the south. Let's start with, oh, I meant to look. What are the Russians down to? They're down to 11 morale. So let's go ahead, and this is a little bit of a gamble, but I'm going to do it. 1 to 3 on a 5. 0 for 2, thank you. Take Edessa. Let's get him closer to supplies. We'll block, kinda. If nothing else, the computer may think twice about having this guy come up and try and take Odessa back. Upgrade him. I was going to advance him to go ahead and take these mines, but then I saw that I had not upgraded him yet. Now there's probably somebody in Cherkasy. Yep. So then let's do this. All right. Let's get knee deep in the Dnieper and get across the river. Now stay there. And I'll have him help the southern half of the army. All right, we're starting to see more supplies get out into the Pripyat. Do I need somebody in Kiev? No, I don't. In that case, let's scout ahead. Get these guys to move up. I want to get him back on the road. I don't like having my units out here in the swamps. It's just getting supply out there is a pain. All right, so let's see if we still got anybody in Gamel. Yes, we do. All right, what's the supply situation look like there? So he's only to 4 here. And next turn it won't be much better. All right, so no, I am not going to have him advance any further. Actually, I have him move back. Can he entrench? Yep, so let's swing the trenches around just in case. So I can reinforce him. Yep, all the way up. So I'm going to have this cavalry unit supporting this infantry unit just in case the computer tries to do anything down here. In the meanwhile, uh, I hate to do it. I want to advance on Moscow, but he's down to 6. I don't like him being exposed like that. All right. Get the headquarters up there. So I'm going to have the 2 cavalry units on either side, one to the north, one to the south. They'll be scouting. They'll be using their superior spotting as we close in on Moscow. Let me get him reinforced because he's down to 6. Can he make the tip? Yep. All right, so he will go ahead and garrison Smolensk so we don't have anybody pop up behind us. He's got Polotsk. Eventually, this guy will get to Smolensk and he'll garrison Vitebsk. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. Crap, I can't reverse that. I wanted to put him here as a blocker. Now he's out of supply. So can I get somebody over there to help him? Kinda, sorta. All right, 2 to 3. Forget that. I'm going after the artillery. 2 to 2. 2 to 2. I don't know if I can push him out of the hex, but can he spot him? No. Let's give it a try. No, 1 for 2. 2 for 2. Oh, and they're out of action points. Oh well, had to be done. I got to push on Moscow. Let's move him there. That way he might be able to spot any of these locations. Can I get him all the way up? Nope, still only 1 point. Actually reverse that. Go that way. I'll bring him up this road. So these forces, that headquarters will go down this road, and he'll go down this one. So I got to leave him in Minsk. I don't need to leave anybody in Riga or Lebal, but I'm leaving them there just in case the computer tries to do an end run around me. All right, so 1 to 2. Let's go ahead and take it. All right. No damage. No damage. You love to see it. I spoke too soon. Should have kept my mouth shut. All right, so that's about as far as we're going to get this turn, but we are putting more pressure on St. Petersburg. We are putting more pressure on Moscow. We've managed to take Odessa. Russian morale is down to 11%. We'll see where that is next turn. Once the effects of this turn's loss of objective hexes. So, what's his coverage? Holy smokes, yeah, he's covering a big area. All right, so I can leave him there right now. All right. And he's covering a pretty good area as well. All right. So, let's zoom out real quick. Let's see if there's anything I forgot. So, Mediterranean, Suez, my Libyan rebels, Caucasus Front, Eastern Front, Western Front. No, it looks like we got everybody. All right, so things are getting dicey for me on the Western Front here. So hopefully we can knock out Russia here, either next turn or the following turn. And I will have to run the German army back over here because, yeah, because it is starting to get pretty dicey. All right, so research. Let's go ahead and have a look at that real quick for the Ottomans. Gas and shell production, ground attack weapons, long range aircraft, fighter development. All of those are needed. Let's go ahead and go with naval warfare or naval weaponry. So what do I got left? I got 85 left that I can do. So where are they at in production technology, aerial warfare, naval warfare? Let's go ahead and insufficient funds. Oh, they only got 31 left. Oops. Okay, so there's nothing more I can do with them. All right, Austria. What do they got left? For 1200, so what is that? 165. So, oh, they're about to get level 2 weapons. Ought to think about banking their stuff. So that way I got bank the money that we got. That way they're able to upgrade maximum number of units next turn. So they've got 361. Let's hang on to 200. Well, what are they building? What do I got building? I got the headquarters has come in. That's a mountain division. So I could always use another artillery unit. They've got 2 in Serbia, and I'll shift at least one of those when Serbia goes down. I'll shift one of those up to the Alps. But if I have a second one, then I don't have to worry about getting a German artillery unit into the Alps. So, all right, let's go ahead and get the artillery unit. I've got the headquarters coming, but I need a second headquarters. So I got 2 that'll come out of Russia when Russia falls, and I got 1 coming. And how many do I have down in Serbia right now? Only 2. Yeah, I know, I could use a third one down there as well. No, let's stick with the main plan. We'll go with the artillery unit. Unfortunately, that uses everything. They got 40 left. Let's go back to research. We'll put that into fighter development. All right, now the Germans. So I'll put a second into ground attack weapons to speed that up. So that's only going to leave 59. They're about to roll over on logistics. You can never have enough logistics. Anti-submarine war. I really haven't had a problem with Entente submarines. Long-range aircraft, fighter development. Can always speed that up. I really want to put it in logistics. I really do. But let's go ahead with fighter development. I mean, I need more fighter squadrons out on the Western Front, but until I do that, let's see what we can do to improve the quality of the squadrons that we've got out there. All right. So that's going to do it for this turn. If you've been following along, if you made it to the end of this episode, you've been following the series along. If you have not already done so, please leave us a like. Go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and hit the notification bell. It really helps with growing the channel. If I see that, if I see the channel growing, you know, maybe I'll start doing more of these. Dedicate some more of my off hours to go ahead and do more games simultaneously, put out more episodes quicker. So, because right now, I mean, I'm not making any money off of this. I'm just doing it in my spare time because I like doing it. You folks need to let me know. You know, do you want me to keep doing this? Does it interest you? That sort of thing. Okay. So, all right. Well, thanks again. Appreciate you watching. Appreciate your comments. And I will see you on the next one.